will bring them from the land of the north and gather them from the ends of the earth. A great throng will return.
What if I told you that the words that were written in the Torah, in the Bible, over 2,000 years ago, the prophecies about Israel, are coming true? It's not through fire and brimstone from the sky, no. It's through the hands of the people that live right here in Israel. They are planting fields of wheat, they're tending to their orchards, to their vineyards, pomegranate trees, olive trees, date trees, even jojoba trees in the desert. My favorite part is that for all the people who love Israel, you are part of this story. Every word of encouragement that you give, every act of love, every act of support, you become part of this magnificent miracle that is happening in the land of Israel today, because it's for all of us. In this film, we'll travel to the Negev Desert, where a technology was born that changed how the world grows food. We'll meet the people in Samaria whose hands brought prophecy to life. And we'll step into the land where, through faith, a young boy once defeated a giant.
The fields that used to lie empty and desolate in plain view of everyone will again be farmed. And when I bring you back, people will say, this former wasteland is now like the Garden of Eden. The abandoned and ruined cities now have strong walls and are filled with people.
I am here at the entrance of Kibbutz Chatzarim. We're not far from Beersheba. We are in the desert, and this is an unlikely place for the land to bloom. But you know what? At this very kibbutz in the 60s, everything changed. The kibbutzniks who were here found a way to unlock the desert so that the desert could bloom, and that prophecy really came to life. So come on, let's go check it out. Let's see what secrets this kibbutz can share with us. This quiet desert kibbutz would one day give birth to Netafim, a name that would reshape agriculture across the globe. But what's incredible is that this kibbutz even exists at all. Let's go back and hear how it all began.
Wow. Yeah. And that's a story of the first night.
David Ben-Gurion famously said that Israel's future lies in the Negev. And in 1946, brave young pioneers took the first steps to bring Jewish life to the desert. Against the odds, 11 settlements were established.
So this is Beersheba and this is Chatzarim.
Overnight after Yom Kippur in 1946, 25 men walked under the cover of darkness through the Negev Desert to establish their kibbutz on land purchased by the Jewish Agency. After hours of walking, they immediately began building. Trucks arrived with equipment and the 5 women joining the kibbutz. The work was backbreaking, efficient, and fast. By law, they needed to erect the first kibbutz building by daylight to avoid being expelled from their settlement by the occupying British Army. Kibbutz Kelta, now Kibbutz Chatzarim, was established by dawn. 30 men and women stood on a stark hill with only one lone tree on the horizon.
I think this is most important to understand. When they arrived here, all around the kibbutz, not just in the yard of the kibbutz, but all around in the whole area, there was one tree, one lonely tree.
I'm excited to talk about it because if you know a little bit about the Negev Desert, you understand that this is some kind of miracle. Why is that? First of all, if I'll open the map of Israel, I will notice that 60% of Israel is the Negev Desert. And the Negev Desert is not a regular desert like in Sonora Desert, Mexico, or Nevada. Guys, the Negev Desert of Israel is, first of all, tight ground. Look, do like that with your foot. It's like concrete. So if it's already raining, almost no rain, and if it's already raining, the rain doesn't absorb to the soil in the Negev Desert. We get here dangerous floods. You can see how it slides. More to that, if you'll take sample from the ground in our region and put it in microscope, the first thing you'll notice is that the Negev Desert contains massive amount of salt. Imagine what happened to agriculture project if you give the roots a lot of salt.
It's important to mention that when they arrived here, of course, they didn't have any business plan. They didn't know what they're going to do, and the shortage of water was, of course, the most important thing. So in 1947, they planted pipe, 170 kilometers of pipe coming from the area of Sderot in two wings. One goes to Hatzerim and one goes to Nirim. Interesting thing is that these pipes were brought from London because during the Blitz, they used it to extinguish fires in London.
Okay.
And then after the war, they didn't need it, and the Israelis or the Jewish people bought it, so they had the pipes, because in Palestine, 1947, to find 170 kilometers of those pipes.
Right.
And by the way, the person who was in charge of it, his name is Simcha Blas, and he, 20 years later, invented the drip irrigation.
The first factory in the world that started to produce drip irrigation system, and today we are doing a revolution in 110 countries around the world with this technology of drip irrigation system. Another amazing things to know about Kibbutz Hatzerim is that today we are more than 40% of the supplier in the world of jojoba cosmetic oil. In Mexico, Argentina, and Arizona, they call it the Golden Desert. And this oil considered from the 90s until today to be the active substance inside the majority of cosmetic products of Chanel, L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, Veleda. And we produce this oil from those jojoba plantations.
These ones right
The
here.
Negev is green. The Negev is flourishing. The Negev is profitable. Profitable agriculture in the Negev.
Ruti is sitting by the pipe when the first water arrived here.
Wow.
But the amazing thing is that it's not just September, it's September 14, because she told me it was my 20th birthday and I got a beautiful present. The water arrived at Hatzerim.
Wow.
And this is September 47, but October 47, November 47, November 29, and the UN is issuing the two-state resolution, which the Arabs did not accept and the Jews did, and the whole story of this of the plan. And the first thing that the Bedouin have done, they broke the pipe, and there was no water. And from November 47 till October 48, the kibbutz was under siege. The whole Negev was under siege.
And here you are today, Rivka, and you honor us with your visit. And from the road, you can see more than 14,000 acres of jojoba plantations. And not only that, is that right now we are standing in the jojoba plantation, and you can see that our plants, the Israeli breed, reach to 3 or 4 meter high. if you travel in Mexico or Argentina or even Arizona, you will see that the majority of the plantation of jojoba reach you to shoulder height. So how Israel from the 90s brought the breeds from around the world, acclimatized them to the Negev Desert soil, and improved the breeds to 4 meter high.
I love the story. There's a person by the name of Gideon Netanel that his mother lives in Tel Aviv. And she wants the children to have chickens for the Seder Pesach, for Passover meal. But there is no way to bring it to the kids, so she convinced a pilot that she is going to cook the chickens and he is to throw it from the air by above Chatzerim, and he, by mistake, threw it in another kibbutz, in Mishmar HaNegev.
Oh no.
They never got the chickens. Now, I think this story is telling what the whole story is about, what is being under siege, what it means when there is shortage of food, there is no transportation, and so on. No chickens in Leila Seder, in Passover meal.
Wow.
You can see here, this is a seed of jojoba. The seed, you can see it here, now it's green. At August it will be dry, but full with oil. Then it will be so heavy with oil that between September and November, the seed falling down to the tight ground of the Negev Desert. Now, what's really interesting is that right now, all the competitioners around the world that making jojoba cosmetic oil get from their seed, from their average breed, 22% cosmetic oil. Rivka, right now in Kibbutz Chatzerim breed of jojoba, inside our seed, we get more than 51% oil. There is no glass ceiling for innovation in Israel. We are talking about food, a climate changing solution, water crisis, a water scarcity crisis. We solve these problems to 110 countries around the world. The jojoba is a good example how we're changing the Negev Desert with this system.
Okay.
So first of all, we are talking about the patent. It's a polyethylene pipe, type of plastic. We pass inside this pipe the nutrigation fluids. Nutrigation, this means that it's water and fertilizing. Now, all the nutrigation fluids passing inside the pipe, and you can see that I cut here the pipe for you to see that inside we can see the patent itself. This is called the dripper. This is the patent we invent. All the nutrigation fluids that passing inside the pipe, entering through the filter, the tiny filter on the dripper, inside the dripper. Now, all the nutrigation fluids pass the structure, in the labyrinth, the structure inside the dripper, and then they go out from tiny, tiny exit holes along the pipe, but right now, not it with high pressure, like you are pinch a hole in your pipe in your garden, but now they go out in a drip by drip rate of drip irrigation directly to the roots environment of the plant in the exact amount needed, water and fertilizing. By this technology and patent, I'm saving water dramatically. I even don't depend on weather anymore. And I'm saving fertilizing. And I can supply the exact amount to the root, directly to the roots environment, so you cannot see here bad weeds.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Right.
And at the same time, the roots environment is flourishing. Unbelievable conditioning. The exact amount of water, the exact amount of fertilizing directly to the roots environment. And this is one of the secrets to get here 4 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters high jojoba desert plant. In the desert, the plant don't want to rise up because the wind will dry them and they will collapse. But what really interesting is that in your country, the majority of the drip irrigation placed on the ground.
I was going to ask you this because I was looking at
Yes,
that. I do not see
yes,
it anywhere
of course.
in my garden.
All the
It's on
visitors
ground.
are asking me, what is going on here? In my garden, all the pipes are on the ground. So how come I don't see any pipe here? So now I can reveal to you. In Israel, we invent to the Jojova agriculture project, in a Netafim company, we invent a new type of dripper, and we almost don't take this out of Israel yet. This is the newest drip line of Netafim company, the subsurface Uniram system of Netafim. This NASA project, yes, it's like NASA, this pipe is buried half a meter inside the ground.
So this is like this much.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
And it's nutrigate the roots environment subsurface. So think about it. The exit is toward up. So the main question, if the exit toward up, how this system not get clogged eventually? Right. I will answer the question in a few moments, but first of all, look, Rivka, if this system is buried half a meter inside the ground, now the strong UV radiation of the sun in the Negev Desert cannot do damage to the polyethylene pipe. There is no expire to the system. Secondly, the animal in the desert crazy for seeking and arrive to water source. But now, if this kind of tight ground covering half a meter the pipe, the animal cannot reach to the water source.
And you can see, I mean, this is Ben-Gurion visiting right after kibbutz was freed in 1948. That's how the kibbutz looked like. You can understand how difficult the situation was. And the war was over, and they started doing what the kibbutz knows to do, farming.
Right.
But from 1946 till 59, nothing grew up here. This is amazing. The reason is that there was salt. The soil is very salted.
Right.
And they had the olive trees and vines and date trees and vegetables. Nothing grew up here. In 59, there was a terrible crisis here. I'm cutting it a bit short because we are limited. There was a terrible, terrible crisis. And they were even considering moving to a different place, to a different site, to join another kibbutz. You see, Haaretz, in 1959, it was decided to desert Hatzerim. They had two general assemblies of the members, okay? There were about 67 members at the time, and there were two meetings that they decided to quit and move. But then Ben-Gurion came here, and he said the following: if the problem is only in the site of Hatzerim, you can move, but only south, to the deeper part of the desert. But if the problem is prevailed all around the Negev, then you have to fight and find a solution, and we'll help you. So after two meetings that they decided to quit, there is a third meeting on August 59, and this is the protocol of this meeting. And after Ben-Gurion came here, 40 were in favor of staying, 11 were in favor of moving, and 12 abstained. Wow. But the decision was made. They decided to stay.
What happened right now on our planet every year from perspective of temperature? Yes, raising up. Yeah. So if the system right now go down half a meter in the ground and provide direct nutrition on the roots environment, less evaporation of nutrition fluids. So you can understand that Israel and Netafim company already finished to invent our warming globes, the next generation of irrigation system to agriculture. We just don't sell this yet out of Israel.
But the most important thing is netafim. Netafim is a drip irrigation system.
Right.
And we have to understand that this poor kibbutz, we produced the first dripper in the world. And today netafim is making 33 billion drippers a year. All right?
Amazing.
Part of their own identity, and that's what brought them to believe in this product.
Unstoppable.
And by the way, in the beginning, there was a great opposition of all kind of experts saying it wouldn't work, it would be plugged, it wouldn't succeed, you'll lose your money. Luckily, they were wrong.
Imagine that I took out the tiny dripper and make it big. And the nutrigation fluids that passing the pipe entering into the dripper through the filter.
Okay.
Very, very advanced filter. But let's open the system and we can see the structure. This is the labyrinth. This is the labyrinth of the new subsurface drip lines of Netafim company.
So it's going like this.
Excellent. So the water usually want to move in a linear way.
Yeah.
But the structure here, because of the triangle labyrinth with all the angle and the sharpness and the gaps, the structure itself changing the linear movement of the fluids to turbulence movement, not one turbulence, a lot of turbulence. And we know how with other parts in the system, we know how to control the turbulence movement of the fluids inside. So now all the fluids, all the turbulence movement bumps against the wall of the labyrinth and not allow to plaque layers to clog it. Plaque layers like you have in your cattle you say, at home, kitchen, cattle. There is calcium inside, right? So there is no calcium, there is no plaque, everything is clean and fluids move freely inside the pipe. So today there is a lot of outsourcing between Netafim company, agriculture company, and cardiologic companies. A new system of drip irrigation based on triangle labyrinth don't allow to plaque layers to clog the pipe. Maybe this system will help cardiologic industry to think about the next generation of stent, you say? Yes, or solution for clogging arteries or blood vessels.
This is the demographical changes in the kibbutz from the day it was founded. Here is a number of members, and that's the number of the whole population, okay? So in 1946, on the papers, they didn't live here, but there were about 70 members. And today we are about 500 members, about 1,000 people living here, including kids and those people that still, our young people that have not yet decided if they want to join the kibbutz or not. So this is amazing. And when you think about what they went through, the first people, the first founders, so I have a great respect for those people that came and succeeded and, you know, held to the idea.
Against the odds.
Right,
Wow.
right.
This country is amazing. The people of Israel are amazing. And there is no glass ceiling for innovation. Even bad time in Israel, we finish those time becoming stronger and stronger and stronger.
But irrigation was only the beginning. In Israel, water isn't just a tool, it's a thread, sacred, sustaining, spiritual.
Again, you will plant vineyards on the hills of Samaria. The farmers will plant them and enjoy their fruit.
From the time of creation, water has played a central role in Jewish life. It's more than just water. Water is sacred for us. It prepares us for the day. It connects us. It connects us to the land of Israel. And I want you to come with me right now. We're going to the studio of Lev Haolam artist Batya Erdstein. Batya also is inspired by the prophecy that the land will bloom. She's inspired by her connection to Israel. And she created the most beautiful, sacred water vessel for our Lev Haolam members. So I'm very excited to take you into Batya's studio with me. So let's go to Batya's studio and take a look inside.
My name is Batya Erdstein. I'm a ceramic artist and a mother of 6. I live in the hilltops in a very small community in Itamar. I came to Israel when I was 19 after high school. I wanted to be part of something real, something inspiring, something spiritual, and I found it here. I'm very inspired by the beauty of the Holy Land, and when I come into the studio and work with the clay, I'm trying to imprint that onto the pieces so everywhere around the world they could see the beauty of Israel on the ceramic pieces.
This is amazing, Batya.
It's been like such a journey to have a garden in the middle of the wilderness.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was so scary. Like, how do you make anything with thorns and stones? And like, I would make a little space, and then like 2 weeks later, it would just be filled with like weeds again. And then I learned permaculture.
Wow.
And then the secret is little by little. They say in Hebrew, le'at la'at. So today,
This is life.
8 years later, this is like my garden, and I can't have a season without a garden. So this is my husband, Baruch.
Hey everybody,
This is Rifki.
welcome back.
Thank you. We're walking through your garden and it's amazing.
Batya makes a beautiful garden.
Yeah, but he plants beautiful trees. Tell him about how many trees you
We planted close to 300 trees, mostly fruit trees. And I'm not sure if you can see from here, but just a rocky hillside with thorns. The land, it's very, very rocky. And we're on the top of the mountain. Over the centuries or millennia, the good topsoil has washed down to the valleys, and but it's at the moment it's much safer for us to be here at the top, and so we have intense winds and very, very rocky soil. And so for each tree, for example, that you see here, it was probably the 4th or 5th attempt to find a place which was deep enough to plant. And I'm still doing physical therapy for that. And now we have fruits of all kinds. A lot of the fruits that are written about in the Torah, and we're harvesting them and trying to get back to life the way it's supposed to be.
Their garden is more than beautiful. It's a prayer. 30 pomegranate trees rooted in rock, grown through faith.
My husband actually surprised me with the potter's wheel one time. I'm actually a registered nurse and studied many years to get that degree to be a midwife. And one day my husband surprised me and bought me a potter's wheel, and that was it. And he just really started the journey with me in this whole career of ceramics.
Every cup Batya makes is shaped slowly. From clay on the wheel, it's turned, fired, and lifted. It's not just pottery, it's presence. We connected with Batya over 10 years ago when Lev Haolam shipped her first olive oil vessel far across the sea.
Okay, so Rivka, you probably didn't think you were going to come all the way over here to blow into some clay.
No.
Okay,
But
do
here
it.
I am. I'm imitating the creation. I love it.
One more time. Amazing,
I'm scared
right?
I'm going to break it.
Do one big one.
Wow.
So thank you. You just
That's
made a
amazing.
vessel. Once upon a time, there was a little potter on a hilltop that bought her first kiln. By the way, that's me. And a year later, I got a big order from Haolam, and I was able to buy my second kiln. And a few years later after that, I got another order, and working for more companies that was inspired by working through Haolam, I got my third kiln. And now here, I'm celebrating the anniversary of 10 years of working with Haolam, and this is my fourth kiln. So excited.
We've sent thousands of Batya's vessels across the globe. Now, families on every continent share in this ancient rhythm, pouring water, pausing, preparing. It's a quiet moment, but it says so much. That you're present, that you're grateful, that this moment matters.
And then you could just walk through here, come right through here, you won't believe it. It's just like,
Oh, you got beans.
yeah.
Oh,
You
this
know,
is
it's like-
great.
The land is so thirsty for us to develop it.
This is amazing. I said it in my heart, but it really is happening. When we were driving up to your place, because you're so high up and you kind of keep going and then you keep going and then you keep going some more until you really are on the top of this mountain looking all around at Samaria. And I thought about like when the Jews came into the promised land, how intense that must have been. That's a lot of land to cover.
Unbelievable.
Up and down, and it's hot.
And now we're here just, enjoying it and planting it. And our forefathers went through so much and so many wars. And so I really feel indebted and responsible to do something with the land, not just to live here, but to actually develop it because so many people died for this.
In Israel, water isn't only for the body, it nourishes memory and meaning. And just like Batya's cups carry tradition, this land carries stories. But not every moment is quiet. Some begin with fear and a single stone.
They will rebuild the ruined cities and live in them. They will plant vineyards and drink their wine. They will make gardens and eat their fruit.
You've read or heard the story of David and Goliath, and this is the place. I'm standing in the Ela Valley, and this is where that epic battle happened. Imagine, in the west is an army arrogantly assured of victory. And across the valley in the east is an army facing sure destruction, frozen in fear. And in the middle, the valley and a young shepherd boy with 5 river stones. The rest is history. I'm gonna bite. Why did you bring me to this particular path?
Because this very path can very well be the exact path that King David took when he was on his way to fight Goliath. Now we know from Tanakh, from the Bible, that David was sent by Yishai from the hills of Bethlehem. And we are headed right through the Ela Valley towards where the battle took place. Now on the right side of us, there's the stream bed of the Ela Valley, and this might actually be the exact spot he went into the riverbed and picked up his 5 stones that changed history.
Whoa, that is cool.
It is mind-blowing.
And I see that it's dry, so I'm guessing it's a seasonal river, is that right?
It is a seasonal river,
Okay.
but we should be able to find some smooth stones, and stones that are that smooth are only caused from one source.
Water.
Water.
Water. Okay, let's check it out. All right, here we are. Why is this particular area biblically significant?
Where we're standing right now, Rivka, is where our Jewish forefathers stood thousands of years ago and watched in the valley right below us a young shepherd named David walk the valley right below us to face the giant from the Philistines. And the Jewish people standing up here were sure that it's over, it's done. And one slingshot stone changed the whole course of history. Again, right below us in this valley, the Philistines were standing on the hills to the west of us, Tel Azekah, which eventually runs further west into Ashkelon and to Gaza, all the places where the Philistines came from. And to the other side, to the east, we have the Gush Etzion, Hebron Hills, Jerusalem Hills. It's all in that direction. This is where it all went down. And we are standing right here 3,000 years later.
Amazing. Sitting here in the Ella Valley and this beautiful view, think about the prophecy that talked about the fact that the land of Israel is going to be renewed and bloom again. And do you feel like this area, this valley, in any way reflects that?
So here in the Ella Valley, we have rows and rows of endless almond trees. We have the Ella Valley wineries. They're growing grapes, which make some of the best award-winning wine in Israel. Agro Cafe is right down the road from here. I understand Haolam subscribers receive some locally roasted coffee. So the Ella Valley is such a great example of rising up from these ruins that we're sitting on and creating this modern state of flourishing and prosperity. Despite all the hardships that we face, we're still here and we're still flourishing, and the almond trees are still growing. And when you take a special place and you take such a monumental, historical, and history-changing moment that took place, just so much blessing coming out of this ground that we as Jews are privileged to be able to share to people all around the world to enjoy the blessing of this beautiful, pristine, and special location. So now we're walking into the ancient town of Caiaphas, and as you see, we're about to walk between this double wall, essentially 2 gates. So it's extremely significant to walk through these very gates where it explicitly says in the Bible, Sha'araim, meaning double gate. And here we are walking through the double gate, the Sha'araim of Caiaphas, of the town of King David. It just brings it all together and pieces it all together like one beautiful puzzle.
Once, the stone was a weapon. Now it's a reminder that courage is still needed, that victory isn't always strength, but faith placed at the right time in the right hands. And this valley, once feared, now grows life again.
We grow up reading and hearing the stories of the Bible, but here you don't just hear them, you feel them. You walk the same land, you hold the same stones, and suddenly you're not just reading words on a page, you're actually living the Bible with the land right under your feet. Life has returned to the Ella Valley in also some very unexpected ways. It's not just about vineyards and planting, it's also about houses and businesses and schools and families and life. I'm standing in front of Agro Cafe, my favorite place in the entire land of Israel to drink coffee. Some of our members, you may have received Agro Cafe's coffee that was roasted right here with love for you. I want you to come with me into Agri Cafe and I'm going to show you my favorite place. It's awesome.
Agri Cafe started as a dream and a struggle. The family who built this beautiful company reached out to us at Lev Haolam during one of the hardest times in their business. They didn't ask for sympathy. They asked for connection. We believed in what they were doing, and soon, so did thousands of people around the world. Today, Agri Cafe, roasted right here in Israel, is sipped in homes from Texas to Tokyo as part of our Lev Haolam surprise boxes from Israel. It's more than coffee. It's a message. The land lives again.
Agri Cafe has actually a really special story. This business was started by Hanan when he was traveling in South America, and he saw that there were family farms where people were growing coffee, but he understood straight away if they had Israeli technology to help them, they would be able to increase both the quality and the quantity of their yield. And so he started sharing his know-how and Israeli technology with the coffee farmers, and they were able to really significantly increase their yield, which changed their lives completely. And this is what's beautiful about Israel. It's like we're taking this technology for growing and agriculture, drip irrigation, and sharing it with the world. And you know what? That in of itself is part of the prophecy, where we were told that the Jews would be a light unto the nation. And it's exactly moments like this, sharing technology, that makes a big difference. So now, Hanan and his partner Eran are able to help 11 family farms in South America. And they just started a new, very special project where they're helping 20 family farms in Ethiopia, sharing Israel's technology to help the entire world. And how do they get paid? Well, they get paid in coffee beans. They receive green beans from the farmers. And these beans are then roasted with all the love in all the world right here in their beautiful state-of-the-art roasting room in Israel in the Ella Valley.
From stones to vineyards, from fear to flavor, this valley is not only a chapter in the Bible, it's a place where the future is being grown, cup by cup, vineyard by vineyard, story by story.
You've just walked with us through places where ancient words are coming to life, where the land, once parched and dry, is now blooming green. And it's not by chance. It's by hard work, dedication, and a quiet belief. This land is still becoming what it was meant to be. And the people, well, we keep carrying on because we know we're not forgotten. Knowing that there are people who care about us and encourage us, it makes all the difference in the world. And that's what Lev Haolam means, heart of the world, reaching across great distances and connecting all of us. Thank you so much for journeying with us today. And if this video touched your heart, I would love it if you gave it a like. And please let us know in the comments, where in Israel would you like to travel with us next? Because it will be our honor to travel with you.
There will be heard once more the sounds of joy and gladness. For I will restore the fortunes of the land as they were before, says the Lord.